Hey, what is going on, guys? This is DK back at you with another video here for day 9 of the Summer League, and today I'm going to be breaking down the main slate. Yesterday, not even going to go over it. That was just the biggest shit show slate of the Summer League so far. They're all consolation games. I warned, there's going to be a lot of late scratches, and there was. So yeah, it was not even worth going over that. But today we got a 6-game slate, and in this slate we have 3 consolation games who, unless I get starters before those games confirmed, I'm just not even touching any of those consolation games. And then we have the 3 quarterfinal games, which I want all the exposure to. So the three quarterfinal games are Miami, New Orleans, Detroit, Brooklyn, and Dallas, Minnesota. So those are the games that I want to target. Unless we get news of the consolation games of the starters beforehand, I'm just not even going to touch them. So I'll start at point guard. The main 3 for Miami, again, I really like here. Kendrick Nunn at 8.5. I know it's pricey, but he's going to play 30-plus minutes. He's going to be aggressive when he's out there. He's a spend up I'm definitely considering. Kobe White is just, that's a consolation game. Not going there. Chris Clemons here at 7.2. Another guy that, probably going to play right around 30 minutes with no Hartstein. Actually, this is a consolation game, so I'm not going to go there unless we get a starting lineup. Let's see, Cameron Payne has been really solid for Dallas. He did miss the last game, though, so that concerns me a little bit. But if he plays again, 7.1K seems too cheap, so I think he's a really solid option there. Let's see. So we got Mclaughlin. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce his name. Some of these guys, I probably will mispronounce some of their names. They have him listed as questionable. I haven't seen anything about that. His start of the last couple games has been really solid. 32-41 fantasy points at 5.9K. Again, this is a quarterfinal game, so I assume he's going to play. So at 5.9K, that's an option that I do really like here. And then Jarrell Macon as well at 5.2. I think he's a pretty solid, cheap option here. A guy that's played in every game, a guy that's going to play probably 25 to 30 minutes. Hasn't flashed with a huge upside, but I think he's a pretty solid salary relief play. Then below that, there's really not a whole lot I'm liking, so let's move on to shooting guard. Bruce Brown Jr., I really like him at 8.7K. He had a triple-double last game, even. Just been the do-it-all guy for Detroit. Probably going to play close to 30 minutes, so he's a spend-up you got to consider here. Same thing with Alexander Walker. It's been great in the 2 games he's played so far, 28 and 32 minutes. It's been super aggressive. Has shot the ball really well. The way he's playing right now, you have to consider him. Tyler Hero, again, I talked about the Miami Big 3. He's part of it. Kind of had an off game, had a great start to first game against Minnesota, and then I think he had like 1 or 2 fantasy points in the second half. But another guy that's going to play 30 plus minutes most likely. So at 8.1K, I think he's a solid option. Koji just not playing enough minutes for me to consider him. Let's see. Cleveland here has been solid again. They have him listed as questionable. I haven't seen anything about him being injured, so a guy that's probably going to play 25 or so minutes and has been, like I said, pretty productive here. 32, 29, 28, 33 fantasy points. So I think he's a mid-tier guy you get to consider. Let's see. Josh Reeves here at 5.8. Another guy that, probably going to play 25 or so minutes and is flash him upside. 47 fantasy points in 1 game. So I think another cheaper guy that you can consider for sure. Let's see, Kyrie Thomas here at 5.5. Kind of had an off game, but a guy that's a little inconsistent but has the upside, and I think is priced pretty accordingly. He's played 32, 25, 27, 27 minutes. Has flashed the upside. It put up a 42 fantasy point game, 1 game. I know Bruce Brown's kind of the #1 guy, but Kyrie Thomas, That just seems too cheap, so I like him a good amount here in the mid-range. Let's see. Below that, I really don't see a whole lot, so let's move on to small forward. Small forward, a little tricky here. So obviously these guys at the top, Barrett, Knox, Vanderbilt, I'm not touching any of those guys unless we get starting news before lock. They're all in consolation games. Duncan Robson was another guy in that big three. A guy that is solid but doesn't have the upside of Kendrick Nunn and Tyler Hero, in my opinion. I mean, he does. If he can knock down a bunch of threes for you, he can definitely get you there. And I think he's a good option because the minutes are there. But if I'm going to pick, if I'm going to rank my big three, I'm definitely going to have Nunn and Tyler Hero ahead of Duncan Robinson. Let's see, Bates Diop at 7.1. The minutes are better for him than they are for Koji. So I think he's okay, but I think there's probably better options. Gary Clark, another guy who has really picked up the pace here with no Hardenstein, 41 and 32 fantasy points each of the last 2 games. I think he's a guy in the mid-tier range that is a pretty solid option for sure. Costello, I like that he's listed as a small forward because he's actually like a power forward center. That's definitely a DraftKings error, but the minutes are just the concern for me. Probably not going to play more than like 22 minutes. 6.8K seems kind of a lot. I mean, he has been productive in that time, but don't know if I can pay that much for a guy that probably not going to see the big minutes. Then Kenrich Williams. I was honestly surprised he played in that last game, but played 27 minutes. Again, this is a playoff game, so I assume he's going to play. At 6.6K, I think he's a pretty good option here in the mid-range. Same thing here with Silva, a guy that I've targeted the last couple games. 26 and 28 minutes, 27 and 21 fantasy points at 5.9K. A guy in the mid-tier seems pretty safe. Musa here at 5.8. Probably going to play right around 25 minutes. Has flashed a little bit of upside here. Another guy in the kind of cheaper range that I'm definitely considering. Big B Williams at 5.5. Probably going to come off the bench and play 15 to 20 minutes, but a guy that is very productive when given the time. So I think he's worth a look. Cam Carr, the thing I like about him is the minutes, but again, this is a consolation game. Probably just not going to, like I said, unless we get starting lineup news, I'm just going to avoid those consolation games. All right, let's move on to power forward. Again, this is a little tricky because these top 3 guys, I like them all, but they're all in consolation games, so I'm just not going to target any of those guys. Isaiah Roby at 6.4. He's Dallas's rookie. He's played okay in the summer league, a little up and down, but 6.4K. I think you got to consider him just because, again, he's in one of those quarterfinal games. Karuk's at 6.3 seems pretty safe to me. The minutes have dropped a bit. It goes from 30 to 24 to 27 to 21. Again, this is a playoff game. He's a guy that has started a lot of games for the Nets in the regular season. So I think he's a pretty safe option here at 6.3. Mayton here. I like that the minutes have been there for him the last couple of games. 30 and 28. He's a guy that is not going to shoot the ball a ton, but he's going to get you boards. He's going to get you, a couple blocks and steals, and he's going to play probably close to 30 minutes if we can, project. That's like what I project on the past 2 games. Sorry. So yeah, I think he's another solid option here at 6K. Jonathan Williams picked up the start for no Hardenstein, played 26 minutes. But again, this is a consolation game, so probably just not going to go there. Anyone else? No, so let's move on to center. Center, again, Mitchell Robson, not going to go there. It's a consolation game. And then you got Jackson Hayes at 7.9. Seems a little pricey. In the minutes, 21-24. I would like if he's playing closer to 30. But a guy that has flash upside, obviously 40 fantasy points in 20 minutes. So center's very thin here. So Jackson Hayes is a guy I got to consider. Naz Reed. So played 14 and 11 minutes the first 2 games, then played 21 and then 26. So the minutes are trending up for him. Has flashed some upside. So again, center's pretty thin. He's a spend up. I think you got to consider. But below him, the play I really like is Jarrett Allen at 7.6. 29, 27, 32 minutes. Again, he's a guy that started most of the games for Brooklyn in the regular season. This is the playoffs. It's the quarterfinal, so I assume he's going to play. 7.6K. I do like him quite a bit here. Below that, I mean, you could look to Mo Wagner, but again, it's a consolation game. But maybe that means he'll get some extra run. And yeah, I think that's about it. So again, guys, my strategy is I just want to target those quarterfinal games unless we get starting lineup news of the consolation games beforehand. I think, again, if we can follow the trend from yesterday, there's going to be a lot of people resting from those consolation games. So if we get starting lineup news before lock for those consolation games and a lot of the starters are out, you could definitely target the value guys who are starting for those consolation teams. Like if there's a 4K guy that's in the starting lineup, you definitely got to consider him because that means he's guaranteed to get a play, probably going to play decent minutes. So I will do my best to be active on Twitter, retweet information when it comes out. So yeah, again, if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, it's really important to do so. I will be as active as I can. And yeah, if you guys have been enjoying the content, I would really appreciate if you can drop a like in this video and subscribe. And I'll be back for another video tomorrow, so I'll see you guys then.